Hi guys, today we are going to be playing with a collection that makes my heart so happy because I am the biggest fan of chocolate, and I'm sure most of you, unless you're new, you probably know that because I always talk about how much I love my sweets. And so when I got this in the mail from Glamlite, this was sent to me in PR, I squealed a little bit because this just makes me so happy. So this is the Hershey's and Glamlite collab, and it comes in a little Hershey Kisses PR box, and this is the cutest thing ever. I can't, and I will show you what is inside of this. One of the best parts about this is you take off the top and then it has a little cover in it, just like a box of chocolate would, and then you have the stuff inside, and I'm just like, whoever thought of that was a genius, let me just say that. So I'm gonna be doing 3 looks in this video. I'm gonna show you 2 at the end of the video. We're gonna do 1 together like I have been doing previously. But let me go ahead and show you everything that is in this collection. Also, this collection is launching on February 14th, which for you is going to be tomorrow at 8 a.m. PST. I will have the information down below in my description box. I also do have a code with Glamlite. It's Annette, and it will save you 15% if you're interested in picking anything up. It is affiliated, just so you know. But I'm so excited to show you all of this because I've been playing with this stuff, and I gotta say, so far, I'm really impressed. So let's start off with the eyeshadow palettes. There are 5 in this collection, and I think that they did such a good job with these. The first one here is the Cookies and Cream palette. I thought I would start off by showing you like the one that is most me, because obviously colorful makeup and me go hand in hand, and especially blue eyeshadow. I love blue eyeshadow. So this little palette here, when I saw it, I was like, that is so cute. I absolutely love that. Next up, we have the Special Dark palette, which this one is also such a beautiful palette. I love the fact that all of these little palettes, they go so deep in the mattes. That is probably the thing about this whole collection that I like the most. It's just the richness and the depth that you get in all of these is exactly what I look for in my makeup, and so all of these are just so up my alley, and also it's chocolate themed, and all of the palettes look like little Hershey Kisses. Like, come on. Next up, we have the Milk Chocolate palette, which is one of the neutral palettes in the bunch. And I think even this one, like, it's so chocolatey. And I know, like, that's the whole theme of the collection, but like, the colors that they chose are just so chocolate, and I'm so here for that. So this is more of a cool tone neutral palette, and I think it's nice that they have a cool tone one as well as a warm tone one, because you might not have to buy both of them, you know, depending on what your preference is when it comes to neutrals. Maybe you just want to have a cool tone neutral palette, and so it's perfect to just kind of have the option to get one of them instead of getting both. Next up is the Milk Chocolate with Almonds palette. This is the warm tone neutral palette, and I think this is such a just classic, I guess, neutral warm palette. I think the color selection in this is brilliant. The gold shimmer in this palette is absolutely stunning. Again, it goes super dark, and I'm so excited for this collection. Like I said, I've had such a good time playing with it already, and you will see that in the looks that I've done. But yeah, let's move on. Next up is the Lava Cake palette, which is the sort of purpley pinky palette. This is definitely the most Valentine's out of the bunch, and this is beautiful as well. I think that just color story wise, this is one of the best collections that I feel like I've seen Glamlite do, and I believe that this has probably been in the works for quite some time, because I can tell that a lot of thought has gone into like this whole thing, and I really appreciate that. So all of the palettes are sold either individually, or you can buy the full PR box. I think the PR box is like $148. I will let you know for sure. So the box is $145 if you want to buy the whole box. So it has 2 palettes on this side and 3 palettes on, can you see anything? This side, there's also a little sponge in the middle here, which I haven't tried yet because I'm honestly I'm not a sponge person, but the sponge looks really nice if that is something that you are interested in. And the last thing in the collection is a lip gloss set. So it comes with 4 different lip glosses. 3 of them are more like opaque, and then the third one is sort of sheer, but they all smell like chocolate. And so far, they're beautiful. I really enjoy them. The only color that isn't really for me is the super light one. I am not someone who can pull off a color on my lips that's like lighter than my lip color, especially something like this. Like, this is not my lip color style, if you will, but all of the other ones, especially like the brown ones, are so beautiful. So maybe what I'll do is I'll put on this blue one. Did I just say blue? This brown one, because I haven't used this one yet. Did I say blue earlier too? Or just once? I hope just once, but you know what I'm trying to say. I meant brown, obviously. So I'm gonna find a lip liner that's gonna go with this very dark brown, and I'm gonna put this on, and then we're gonna play with I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna combine 2 of these palettes. That is what I've done in the other 2 looks that I've filmed, because honestly 5 looks is just a lot. I just didn't have time to do 5 looks, 1 with each palette before the launch, because I've only had this package for like 2 days now and this video is going up tomorrow. So that's just what we're gonna go ahead and do. I'm gonna, like I said, combine everything together just so I have an idea of how everything performs. And then you can make up your mind if these are color stories that you are interested in. Okay, so I put on a dark lip liner from Melt. This is in the shade Caffeine. And then we're gonna go ahead and put on this gloss. This one is called, I don't think these have names because they are sold, actually this one is called Special Dark, but these are sold in a set. You can't really buy them individually. And it just smells so good. These are very nice and opaque, as I'm sure you can tell. Oh, that looks so pretty. Now this looks beautiful, but I don't think I would be comfortable wearing this out because I am a very messy person and having a very dark gloss is a recipe for disaster. So I probably would not be wearing this out of the house, but just to like look at and for pictures and stuff, absolutely, this is beautiful and this would look so good on someone with a dark skin tone. Yeah, that is beautiful. I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm just going to start by priming my eyes, and I am almost out of my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base, which makes me really upset, and it means that I need to buy a new one. So you can probably see I have a little bit of blue staining here. That was from the look that I did yesterday, and I did use the blue palette along with one of the other ones, and just wanted to show you and let you know because there is a little bit of staining. I haven't had any problems with any other colors, but blue can tend to stain. My eyes at least. I know not everybody struggles with staining, but these are very pigmented palettes and sometimes certain colors might have a little bit of staining to them, just something to keep in mind. I'm thinking what I want to do for this look is I want to use the blue palette again because I love blue eyeshadow, and I think I'm going to pair that with the Lava Cake palette. So we're going to be using this one right here as well as this one, and when I swatched this palette, this color here turned into more of a pink than what it looked like in the pan. I don't know if I had a little bit of like pink eyeshadow on my finger when I went to swatch this, because before I had touched it, it kind of looked like it had more of a blue shift to it, and I've tried to like rub my finger in there and like get off the top layer to see if I can get underneath, but it just seems like whatever was on here was a bit of an overspray and it looked lighter than it is in the pan. At least that is my thought, but I could definitely be wrong. But we're gonna be using these 2 palettes together, and I think what I want to do, I'm honestly not sure. I literally have no idea. All I know is I want to use these 2 palettes because I really like them. Maybe what I will do is I will take the pink shade here and use that as my crease shade, and then I can deepen it up with one of the blues in the other palette, and that'll turn it into a bit of a purple. Maybe that could be kind of fun. So I'm going to start with this one. These don't have any names, just if you are wondering. They did come with a little protective slip that just had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on them. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this as my transition shade here. I'm just using my Rephr 13. So I was actually invited to the launch party for this this collab, and I was so sad I wasn't able to make it. They were having the launch in LA, and I'm in Vegas if you didn't know, but I literally got the invitation like 4 days before the event, and I was like, listen, sorry, thank you, but I've already made plans and I can't make it to LA in such a short notice, and I would have to book a hotel and flight, and it was just too close to the event, which is really a shame because I would have loved to go. And thank you, Glamlite, for inviting me if you ever end up watching this video, because that would have been so amazing, and I would love to go in the future if there are any other opportunities, but this time I just wasn't able to make it. But that's good for you guys because it means that I'm able to make this video and have it go up in time and that I'm not in LA. But look how beautiful this is. So far, I feel like the mattes from this collection, especially the neutrals and the darker shades, have been better than what I'm used to from Glamlite. I don't know if they have changed their formula slightly on this collection than what their normal formula is, but I've had a really, really easy time with some of the darker mattes. Not that I struggle with them normally, but I just feel like they're smoother and just easier to work with. I don't know. But I've just had a really good time with this collection, and I think that the theming also just like, you know, speaks to me so much. So I'm probably a little bit biased just because of the theme of this collection, but I think that we all have a soft spot for certain things. I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same on this eye as well. I don't know if I want to do this under my eye, so I'm just gonna leave my options open and see where I end up. I might end up doing blue under my eye just because that would be kind of fun. So that looks really nice. For my deepening shade, I'm gonna use the dark blue in the Cookies and Cream palette because I just think that these are gonna blend very nicely in together. And when I swatch this blue, holy cow, it's so pigmented, so I might have to be a little bit careful. Just make sure I don't get a ton of fallout here because this one is rich. So I'm packing this very heavily in the outer corner of my eye just to start off, and then I will start just gently blending it into my crease. I don't know if I want to take it all the way or just a little bit, but let's just go ahead and start about halfway in here. I'm using a very small blending brush. This is from Unicorn Cosmetics. It comes in one of their brush sets, which is really, really nice. See how this blends into such a beautiful purple shade in the crease here? I really like mixing blues and pinks together. I mean, this is just working so perfectly. It's doing exactly what it is that I wanted to do, is keeping that blue in the outer corner and then turning into a purple in the crease. I love that. So I think I'm gonna wrap this a little bit underneath my eye as well, just because I pulled it out a little bit too far here. So I just wanna make sure that this is looking like it's making sense. Okay, this looks great. I mean, this dark blue is so nice. I really like not only the tone of this, but the formula on this is so nice as well. It's really smooth, really rich, blends out super nicely. I think for the front portion of my lower lash line, I will probably do a shimmer. So maybe what I'll do is I'll start with some of the shimmers on my lid and kind of see where we end up. I'm thinking I just want to use probably a blue and a pink because just makes sense. So I'm gonna start with some glitter primer because I always need to have some glitter primer on my eye before I go in with the shimmers, and the one that I use is from NYX as always. Just gonna put that glitter primer all over my lid where I want my shimmers to go. Not doing anything crazy with this look. When I'm trying out new palettes, I try not to do anything like graphic or something that doesn't require blending, because that way I don't really get to see how the shadows truly perform, and I want to do something that is a way that, or a technique that I know a lot of people are going to do, and I feel like doing a crease shade and a deepening shade in a way that I've done it here is like a very basic eyeshadow look, and it's a good way to sort of review a palette. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this shade here as sort of my middle shade, and then I will use one of the pinks, probably the lightest of the pinks on my front portion of my lid. So this is going to be more of a lighter lid and a darker crease, which I love that. That is so pretty and so metallic and so smooth. I feel like the shimmers in these palettes are also different than some of the shimmers that I'm used to from Glamlite. Like these almost feel a little bit like thinner, but in a, I don't know if I should say good way, it's just different. Sometimes some of their shimmers can be a little bit on the thicker consistency and sometimes a little bit flaky, which I don't mind that. I really enjoy that kind of formula, but these feel a little bit smoother, a little bit easier to work with. I don't think you would have to like spray these for them to be nice and intense or use any kind of glitter base. And I think that they would stick nicely just put on dry, which is not really what I like to do. But if you are someone who doesn't like to take that extra step, I think that these would be super easy to apply dry as well and still be nice and impactful. But this is looking so good. Just gently tapping this into my crease, making sure that it's nice and blended. I don't care for this to look like a cut crease. I don't really ever care for my looks to look like a cut crease, if I'm being honest. I prefer something that's just a little bit more blended. I find that it suits my eye shape a little bit more. So for the inner portion of my lid here, I'm going to use the pink shade. I don't know how this is going to go, and I don't know how this shade is going to look on my eyes, but hopefully it'll look nice. I mean, it looks beautiful in the pan, so there's only one way to find out. It might just be a little bit too dark for what I'm looking for, but let's see. I'm just going to put that in the front portion here, like I said. This one seems a little bit sheerer than the other shade that I put down, and is a little bit more on the glittery side. It's really, really pretty though. I do wish it was a little bit lighter, just because I do like having lighter shades in my inner corner, but that's obviously on me for picking this shade. That's one thing I feel like is missing in these palettes, is just a lighter shimmer. Most of the shimmers in these are like mid-toned, I would say, and I would have liked to have something a little bit lighter, but I mean, it's totally fine. I can always use a highlighter to brighten something up if I want to, because I have so many highlighters in my collection. I'm sure most people who are into makeup and who are watching this, you probably have a lot of highlighters in your collection too that you can use as an inner corner shade. I think this is looking really fun. I do need to just do a little bit more blending on this eye, but it's okay. Next for underneath my eye, I think I'm gonna use this shade, which I have used already, but it's so beautiful that I just wanna use it again. And I just feel like having a neutral shimmer under my eye isn't really gonna work, so that's just what we're doing. I am gonna go ahead and spray this a little bit though, because I just want this to be nice and intense as I don't have any kind of primer underneath my eye, and I'm just gonna put that in the front portion of my lower lash line. This is such a beautiful turquoise with a little bit of gold glitter sparkles in it. It is absolutely stunning, and it reminds me of vacation. This shade makes me want to go on vacation so badly. But look how pretty that is together with that other blue that I put down as well. So I think this is all I'm going to do for this look. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and finish this off, and then I'll come back and I will show you the other two looks that I've done with this palette and give you my final, I guess, thoughts on this collection. Okay, and this is how I decided to finish off. So let me just kind of run through that really fast in case you're wondering. On my top lid, I used an eyeliner from Melt, and this is in the shade Santos. I think this was from the More Eternal collection, probably not available anymore. From my eyeliner, I have one from Colourpop. This is in the shade Zulu. And then my highlighter, as well as my inner corner today, is from Bitterless Beauty, and it's one of the Kaleidoscope Glow ones. It's this one right here. This is in the shade what are you called? Luster. So that's basically what I did to finish off, and I really like this look. I think this turned out so fun. I think the color combinations, like, it just works very nicely together despite it being like from two different palettes. But before I tell you my thoughts on this collection, let me go ahead and show you the other two looks that I've done as well. And instead of trying to talk over it, because I feel like I've said everything that I wanted to say, I'm just gonna do some music, because otherwise I feel like I'll be rambling and saying stuff just to kind of waste time. So let me just go ahead and show you the looks, and then we can get into my thoughts on this collection. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed those looks. Like I said before, I had a blast playing with this, and I think that so far I haven't had any problems. I think the formulas perform amazingly. The mattes are super smooth, super pigmented, super easy to build and blend. The lip glosses are so nice. Like, I really enjoy this lip gloss set despite being colors that maybe I'm not going to wear a lot. Like, this is a beautiful color, the one I'm wearing today. But like I said earlier, I don't see myself really wearing this out, but I think it is beautiful. And I think that the lighter of the browns is a color that I'm going to be wearing a lot because I love having brown lips. And that one is a little bit more safer, I guess, for me. I feel like it's not going to get everywhere if I use it. It's still a little bit on the dark side for what I like in a nude lip, but it'll definitely be a color that I feel like I'll be able to wear. This sponge I haven't used, obviously, like I said in the beginning of the video, because I'm just not a sponge person, but the palettes are fantastic, and I think that if you are a sucker for a good theme, if you like chocolate, as much as me, you might want to pick up one of these, or maybe you want to get the whole collection. I don't know. I personally don't think you need the full collection because that's a lot of eyeshadows, and there are 2 neutral palettes in there, depending on what kind of neutrals you want, but they're also different enough that if you do end up getting them all, you're not going to have repeats, and I think that you'll be able to really enjoy the collections, and like you've seen me do, they mix and match very nicely. So if you want to get the whole collection and be able to showcase these and just have them as a collector's piece, which these are totally collectible, I don't think you'd be disappointed. And I think that this is probably the most fun collaboration that I've seen from Glamlite. I know they've been working on this for quite some time, and it's nice to just see it all come together because I think that they executed it perfectly. I don't think they could have done a better job with this if they tried. So I'm really excited to have this collection. Thank you, Glamlite, for sending it to me. Let me know if you plan on picking any of these up, if this is a collection that speaks to you. Maybe you don't even like chocolate and this is just like stupid to you. Like, you never know. We're all different, and that is what is so much fun. So that's gonna be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see some more Glamlite content, I do have a Glamlite playlist. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.